Buckets. That's the name of my boat. Buckets.
Buckets. What we get.
Not the only transfer we got from Florida. Buckets. Keith Stone, too. Remember that.
Everybody who watches his show on a regular basis knows my love of the stretch four.
You know, we all make mistakes. He might have made one going to Tallahassee.
See if y'all don't know. Dribble to the left, cross over to the right. Hurricane to the game, many buckets for the night. Matt with the pick and roll, Melissa with the give and go. This Shelly, you pretty girl dunking in the hole. Check the scoreboard, this what we fall for. Beat the gameplay, you want an encore. Yeah, overtime for another round. It's buckets out the buckets, baby. You're out of time. It's buckets. What it is, homie, it's buckets. Woo! We get buckets. Yeah, baby, buckets.
I have no shame.
I know. That's the problem.
You guys are awesome.
What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Buckets. I'm Matt. He's Vish. She's Melissa. Melissa, how you feeling tonight?
I'm good. We have a guest tonight, and she's very punctual. How are you guys?
We prefer punctuality on here.
We do.
Yeah.
Actually, it seems like everyone actually shows up a couple of minutes early, which we appreciate. It's FSU Hate Week, by the way. But let's get rolling.
Well, this is something our guests will agree with us on, although we're going to have some other,
I know.
other discussions.
Everyone has their fault. She did play for the Florida Gators, but it's okay. She's with the good guys now.
She picked the right week to come on, though, because it's FSU.
She did.
Week,
she did.
So she's going to be in lockstep with us on that.
But probably one of the most accomplished coaches to come on the show. I mean, first round draft pick at the WNBA, third overall, played in the WNBA for 11 seasons. Now coach at Miami, like amazing. So please welcome Coach Murriel Page to the show.
Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for coming on, Coach. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
We'll ignore the fact that you were a Gator. You're wearing the right colors now. So you saw our tweet. This is a debate that we have on this show. We keep track. It's a little lopsided. But if you could only eat one chicken sandwich for the rest of your life, would you go to Chick-fil-A or Popeyes?
Popeyes.
Oh, guys.
Let's go! Let's go.
We're best friends already. I love this.
Vish, you were trying to influence it. That's what happened.
I was trying to influence it?
You did. Because you tweeted the GIF, the Popeyes GIF. That's all of your influence.
No,
I'm not taking credits for them making a quality chicken sandwich.
So
okay?
I gotta ask why. I know why. I know why I like Popeyes better, but why do you like Popeyes chicken sandwich better?
I just like the flavor, and I like the spicy chicken at from Popeyes, and I grew up on Popeyes, so I'm a Southern girl.
I love it.
Old school.
Our list of Popeyes lovers is.
I think Coach Ivy is gonna be the tiebreaker because Coach Cullup and Coach Page, the other Coach Page, picked Chick-fil-A, and then you and Fitz picked Popeyes. So when we get Coach Ivy on, she's gonna break the tie.
I say she's gonna pick Popeyes.
Ooh.
Yeah. Right. Don't influence her. It has to be an uninfluenced vote. Although we think that Coach Bree, the strength and conditioning coach, picked Chick-fil-A. So
well, she picked I don't eat fast food. So
she had to choose. Right. I got Coach Cullup on my side, all right? So let's go. Anyway, let's talk hoops. So thanks for answering our tweets and random DMs. We have no shame on this show, so we tag everybody. But your resume, as far as in the basketball world, is insane. Played 11 years in the WNBA. Did you watch the Game 5?
Of course.
What were your thoughts?
It was unbelievable. I mean, just being able to watch it. I actually was struggling staying up watching the last couple of games because it went into overtime. You know, I'm a little older now, so I kind of go to bed a little early. But it was just amazing to watch it and just see, you know, the attention that women's basketball is getting right now. And just knowing some of the coaches on both sides of the, you know, of the game, it's just kind of hard. It's hard to cheer for anybody. It's just like whichever team wins, you're happy because you're happy for your friends or individuals that I played against. So.
Okay. And then, so this is your first year at Miami. I know Monty's is a big part of the basketball coaching staff's choice, but any places in Miami that they're like, all right, that's my spot besides Monty's?
Ooh, besides Monty's, I don't have one yet. I'm still looking.
Was Monty's just like right by where you guys were staying? Is that why it's so popular? Or
Well, I'm not sure. It was like when I joined the staff, it was the first place they was like, okay, we're going to Monty's. So, and it just became a thing that we would do, you know, like once a week and just kind of get together and talk. So.
Okay. So you were at Mississippi State the last few seasons. Thank you for bringing Darian Rogers with you to Miami. But what kind of went into your thought process of coming to Miami to coach with Coach Cullip and staff?
Well, I've known Coach Cullip for about 14 years now since I started coaching, but I wanted something new. I wanted to be able to be in an environment that was just like encouraging and just developing somewhere where I was going to be pushed and challenged as a coach because I have dreams of being a head coach, but wanted to be also to be with just in a different environment. And I love Florida, of course. And I've always, paid attention to Miami's women's basketball team because I knew a lot of the past staff that was here. And then Octavia and I, we basically grew up playing against each other. We're very good friends. So I'm, just know the history of Miami basketball. And when the opportunity came about, I was excited that, that Coach Cullip wanted me to join the staff. And then when I had an opportunity to come down and just actually see everything, because as a player and just watching I coached in the ACC as well at Georgia Tech. And coming down, you never really get a chance to see the campus and everything that goes on behind the scenes. And once I got here, it was just like, man, this is heaven. It's like, the campus is amazing, and just all the support and what goes on behind doors and, all the support that women's basketball get here. It's hard to say no.
Yeah, I went to that, obviously the Canes played in Starkville last year. I went to that game. I think you made the right choice. I mean, no offense to the 5 people in Mississippi State, but come on.
Yeah, man, I'm a Mississippi girl too. So
no, it was actually it was a cool college town. I enjoyed myself in the game, especially. But it was it doesn't compare to being in Miami. I feel like the campus is, like you said, it's kind of, if you haven't been there and then you see it the first time, you're like, wow, this is different.
Do you like the big city compared to like more college town?
I do. I like to be close to the big city. I'm a small town girl. I'm originally from a town of 200 people in Mississippi. So most people don't leave my hometown. So basketball has I've been able to travel the world playing basketball, but I do prefer a larger city than a small town. Yes.
Do you play with the ladies? I coach the other P1 and P2. I get confused who's who.
I'm P1.
You're P1.
This is the thing.
So let's start there. How did you become P1?
I'm P1. Danielle is P2. But then to please both of us, Danielle is the taller Paige, and I'm little Paige because she's taller.
But why are you 1 and she's 2? Do you have like you're old? Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So that actually came from Hannah and Haley. They're H1 and H2, so they named us P1 and P2. So.
So it goes by age because one's like a few minutes older than the other.
Right.
Gotcha. That works. But do you play like no?
No, in my mind, I like to say I can play. I get out there and play a little dummy defense. I'm more of a trash talker now than I am, skills. So,
Love that.
sometimes you can kind of mentally get into their mind and still, I hit a bucket or two, and then my next shot is like an air ball. So Darian Rogers, if you get her on, she'll tell you about it.
We've been trying. I'm failing miserably because she hasn't seen my DMs. So if you have any influence,
I might have a little bit. I get her to respond.
Yeah. I DM'd her on Instagram. I'm wondering if I should go at her on Twitter but tell her to DM the Buckets Twitter.
Okay.
Because Coach Cullup said we should get her on, and was it Coach Bree that said we should get her on? I've lost track.
It's been multiple.
Yeah, Coach Fitz said the Cavenders, and I was just like, "You're giving us an ungettable task. Like,
Still tough.
Impossible."
Yeah, you'll love Baby D.
Yeah, who's the best trash talker on the team? Are you passing your wisdom on to somebody?
I would say between Baby D, Darian, I call her Baby D, and Haley.
Oh, well, we
have priors with Haley.
We know Haley from 2 years ago when she out in Indiana, so we already know her game. Her game is good, so that was epic. But yeah. So were you when you played? Were you more defensive, offensive? Your game was everywhere, or?
I was more a defensive player. I was more of a role player. I was kind of the person that you can kind of stick me anywhere, and it was very versatile. I actually in college I was a 4-5. By the time I finished my professional career, I was playing the 2, 3, 4, and sometimes defending the 5. So
it's like
everybody can't be a star. Sometimes all stars can't play defense, so they need someone that can defend their man for them because they probably can't defend them. So that's how I made my money.
Coach, so let me ask you, how do you talk a little bit about like accepting that role? And I'm sure you took a lot of pride in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you get someone? So I'm a high school coach too. How do you get someone to kind of accept that role?
Oh, it's hard. It's a task, but I think you just let them. You have to let them see the importance in that role because like I tell players all the time. When people talk about me, you probably thought I scored 20 points and averaged 20 rebounds a game, but no, I probably averaged like 8 points and 5 rebounds a game. But in order to help my team win, and if you're all about the team, you're going to do the little things. So I prided myself on doing the little things because that's what my teammates and my team needed me to do.
Yeah, the person you were guarding probably went like 1 for 15, which that's not going to show up on your stats, but whoever you were guarding, stats are going to look pretty bad because of your lockdown D.
Yeah, sometimes, depending on who I was guarding.
So you work with the post players, right? Both Coach Pages are the post players. Can you talk about Nat and Cam, because I'm very excited for our post play this year. They're beasts.
They're both very skilled players. They both, bring a different element in their game. Natalie is probably more of a little face up, but still has a nice touch around the rim. Cam is working on her, facing the basket, but I mean, it's unbelievable around the basket, but they both play really well together and off each other. And they're just great leaders, but just work hard. I mean, you can't keep them out of the gym because they both want to make sure that this last year is the best year. And just having them around and listen to, the players from last year talk about having skilled post players, it brings a smile to your face, knowing that, we are bringing a different element to the team by adding them to the game.
Yeah, we were young in the post last year. We had a lot of sophomores. So Nat is not stretching the floor a bit. I hear her 3-point shot is pretty good.
Yeah, she can score from, you bring it down the trail, you leave her open, hands down, man's down. And then, if you take that away, then she can take you under the basket and score on you as well. So it's been a joy just watching her work and being in the gym with her.
What did you think of the ACC preseason rankings? Miami was picked to finish 8th.
Hey, I love it. I mean, it just everybody wants to. It doesn't matter where you're ranked. It's the University of Miami. Everybody wants to beat you. You could be in last place, and everybody's still going to bring their best game. But nobody knows what we have this year. They're waiting to see what we're going to put out there on the floor. So, I mean, it didn't make me mad, but it just gives us a goal to set for us at the end of the year. So I was excited about it because, you listen to it and a lot of players left, but, you would have thought maybe people were thinking, oh, they're going to be at the bottom of the ACC, but no, that's not the case.
No.
So, but now we have our actual goal to have for the team at the end of the.
And there's a couple players from that Elite Eight run, so I'm sure they're letting them know, like, hey, this is what we can be, and then getting snubbed last year. Though I feel like Mississippi State got snubbed as well last year because A&M got in, and you guys had a better SEC record.
Yeah, I just think the way we ended the season last year, regular season, it didn't do us that well. I mean, we went 1-7, I believe. So when you finish the season like that, you can't expect the basketball guys to reward you.
Nah, they left you out because they were leaving us out, and they couldn't put in another team that we beat. Miami, we got massively.
We keep bringing that up. She was on the.
I'm so angry about it.
I realized I did that after I said it, and I'm like, yeah, let's not being a good host here for our guest. And then you went.
Well, no, I was kind of surprised. Not that Mississippi State didn't make it, but I was kind of surprised Miami didn't make it. But
So were we. We had a pretty bad of a meltdown show.
We had a 2-hour meltdown.
That's not our finest. That week was rough.
Coach Meyer retired like the end of that week. I don't know.
That was a long week for us here at the show, but
it's much happier here on Buckets now with all of you guys joining. I don't know how it could be any better than the staff that Coach Cullip has brought in. We're very excited for all of you guys and having Coach Fitz, and obviously we've had almost every coach on the show. Coach Ivy's last. She's slacking.
So actually in that context, right? So you're obviously new to this program and a lot of new players. Does anything surprise you after you've gotten in here and gotten in with? Because also, some of these coaches worked with Coach Cullip in the past, so you're kind of coming in here fresh. Does anything surprised you at all?
Well, as coaches, we all kind of know each other. I've known Coach Fitz for years. I've known him since I was at the University of Florida coaching, because that's where I started coaching. And then I actually knew Jessie from when I was at Florida as well. She was actually coaching in the Panhandle. So we've all kind of crossed paths and had, relationships. So it was like we came together and we knew each other, but I mean, you can't tell that this is actually our first year working together. We get along so well. And I think that's been surprising, more so with the players, because we brought in so many different players, but just seeing their connectivity on the court and off the court and how much they actually genuinely care for each other, that can be surprising, because you think when you bring in so many players, there's going to be a drop, but our players get along great.
You think there's anyone that might surprise us this year as far as like what you've seen in practice and the players? Like, I mean, I know we have a lot of like senior players, but maybe some of the younger people, but the three freshmen, or anything that might surprise us in a good way.
No, obviously. I think a lot of our players are going to surprise you. I mean, I think the ones that transferred in, people know what they did last year at their other universities, but they're adding to their game and they're in the gym. But I just think as a whole, and what our team is going to display and put on the floor, everybody's going to be excited about it. I can't really pick out one person that's actually going to surprise you, but I think as a whole, as the team and what we're going to bring, everyone's going to be surprised.
So go ahead, Matt. Or Vish, or whoever talks. My mind is constantly going.
So I was just going to ask what you thought of how the freshmen are acclimating. We have 3 kind of highly touted freshmen that are coming in. How are they dealing with the transition to playing college ball?
Just like any typical freshman, when you first get on campus and the workload and being in the weight room and going to class and running, they're like, oh my gosh, I've never worked so hard. I didn't know it was like that. And then, after a month or so, they're like, okay, I get it. I know what it takes. And then watching the upperclassmen work and knowing what it takes to get to where they want to be, they've accepted their roles, and they just work hard. I mean, do you actually have to keep all 3 of the freshmen out of the gym? I mean, Nay, she's in the gym at 5:45 in the morning, just wanting to work. I mean, they're always constantly walking through the office asking, can I get in the gym? Can I shoot? So that's been a joy, because you don't always get that from freshmen everywhere, especially when they see the demand that they have on them, that we have on them. And we actually have to tell some of them, you're going to need a break, take a day off or 2, because there's more coming. So that's been a joy, just seeing how hard they work and just how determined they are. And they're just willing to do anything and everything is, for the team.
I know you can't talk about like the specific recruits for the next class. But you guys have been killing it on the trail. Do you guys? How does that work? I know Coach Ivy's been busy recruiting, so she couldn't come on the show. But do you guys have specific players that are your people that you're recruiting, or is it like all the coaches, or what's the recruiting? How do you guys divvy up those responsibilities?
It's a team effort, but we all as coaches have players that we are in contact with more than some of the other players, because you don't want one coach calling out 10 players, but we all kind of touch them, and then we all go out and watch them, because coach wants all of our opinions on the players, and so that when we talk to them, we're not just calling them and saying, oh yeah, Coach Jesse told me that you have a good 3, or you can really get downhill, but we all go out and try to watch them in open gym or watch them play.
Do you find that makes a difference when like multiple coaches have gone to see that player? Does you feel like that makes a difference as far as them coming to Miami instead of maybe just one coach talking to them all the time?
I think it depends on the player, but I definitely think it helps when you have all the coaches go out and watch them play. But just seeing Miami, it doesn't matter if it's all 4 coaches or 2 coaches, but I think the most important thing is seeing Coach Cullip in the stand and knowing that she's there to watch you play. So,
has it been easier to sell Miami over Mississippi State? I know obviously both really good programs, but just the city in general, has that made a difference?
Come on, it's the U, baby. Of course it is.
Does that hurt you to say that, being a Florida Gator?
Nope, not at all.
No, you still got love. We play Florida this year, don't we?
Yes.
We're going back to your stomping grounds, actually.
Oh, don't worry. All of my friends, when we go there to play them in November, they've all been telling me they're not gonna wear orange. They're gonna wear blue, because they don't want me to think they're stuck in the middle. And I'm like, it doesn't matter. Y'all can wear the orange and blue when we play Florida, and after we, get the dub, then you can come down to Miami and you can put on the real orange and green.
There you go.
It's they give me a tough time, but they'll slowly but surely they'll become fans of the Canes.
Yeah, once they get that 20-point beat down.
Yeah.
It's friends off the court, but once that clock starts, they're all enemies until the end of the game.
Yep. Even my basketball sisters, they know when it's game time, it's game time. I talk to you after the game.
They gave you some crap for taking the Miami job?
Oh, of course. I still do today.
Still?
Yes.
It wouldn't be the rivalry.
I talk to all my teammates, so they're all like, I can't believe you're at Miami. And I'm like, believe it.
Did you give them some crap after the football beatdown?
Yeah, a couple of them didn't talk to me for like 2 weeks. I would call them. I was like, you know what? I know they're not going to answer my call. They didn't talk to me for a while. Some that are still working at the university was like, do not mention the game. Just call me and see how I'm doing. So yeah, it was a little tough.
Just a quick text of 4117.
And then I was posting on social media, and they was like, "Oh, really? You got to post it?" I'm like, "Hey,
you went all in. It didn't take you that long to change. I love it."
Oh no, not at all.
What she says to you, it's different.
I know, even the way that's the passion.
I mean, Florida helped me get to where I am. I'm a Gator, but I'm all about the U right now. So
there we go. Coach, I got to ask, so you've been to a few places in your coaching career. What does Coach Cullip do differently?
Her energy that she brings every day in practice, how she push the players on the court. I think what makes her special is that she doesn't only invest in you on the court, she invests in you off the court. She's really her main concern is that she wants to make sure that the young ladies are pushed and they're ready for the real world. If that's being a professional player or if that's being a profession in whatever they get their degree in. One of the things that she does really that I think is amazing, all of our players have mentors in their fields. And not everywhere you go, they're doing it. And I think that's amazing that she does that. That's her love, her joy. But that means a lot to her. And of course, she wants to win on the court. So she just there's a balance in how she invests in you off the court and on the court.
You mentioned your head coaching aspirations. Is that something you think you'd want to stay in the college ranks for, or coaching in the WNBA? Is that something you aspire to as well, or what's your preference?
I don't really have a preference, but I get a joy from coaching at the college level because you still have opportunity to help young women grow and help develop their game. When you get to the pros, you have to, I love my pros. I love the WNBA. but they think they know everything by the time they become a pro. So I really love being with the young ladies and watching them grow on and off the court. So it's my way of giving back to the game that has given me so much.
Do you have a preference on coaching offense or defense?
Defense.
Yeah.
There you
Okay.
go.
Yeah.
I know Matt's a big offense guy, and he's coaching high school. So I was like, oh, if you're offensive minded, got to get him some tips, but maybe some defensive tips for high school players.
Oh no, I mean, it's different. I mean, I'm more defense actually, like coaching wise and stuff.
Yeah.
But I mean, you guys. I mean, we talk about. It's because I always bring up like the
Chin series.
Yeah. Well, Chin series. Yeah, and Princeton offense and stuff. Yeah, but I mean, that's just because of like general love for. I don't know. I just think the movement is just so beautiful. But I've always been like a defensive type of guy because I mean that was kind of the role I played when I was playing. So.
Yeah, this positionless basketball kind of make it difficult sometimes to scheme when you're that defensive coach. You really got to put your thinking cap on.
Oh, absolutely.
Big debate though, man or zone?
Man.
Good answer.
Wait. Who are you debating with?
There's no debate.
Hey, what are you talking about?
It's like, who wants to play? Who wants to
No one
spin the
over
lane?
here.
No. We make fun of zone defense on this show on the regular. So last year, the men's team was playing Stonehill, and me and Vish were at the game, and Matt was watching it on TV because he's all the way out in California. And they started playing a 3-2 zone, and it was just like a 30-minute laughing fest.
No one was. It wasn't just a 3-2 zone; it was poorly executed, so no one was covering the baseline, and it was just wide open corner threes and layups, and just like what. What defense is this? So now it's been a running joke on this show. Anytime something goes wrong, put the 3-2 zone out there. That'll fix it. But anyway, yeah, we as a show are a man-to-man defense.
Definitely,
show, so.
man.
That's one thing we don't debate about. We disagree on the Chick-fil-A and Popeyes, and we disagree on the Coral Gables trolley uniforms, but we all agree on man defense. Have you seen the yellow uniforms?
I have, but I haven't really gotten a good look at them, but I've seen the shorts. I haven't seen the entire uniform.
It's very yellow.
It's a fine.
Yeah, I remember seeing the shorts, and I was like, yellow, but
Jasmine Roberts was not a fan.
They all wear the shorts though. This is not the first time we've heard about how they like
the shoes look nice, but again, it's different in pictures than when you see it in person. In person, it's very yellow.
Yeah. The shorts are yellow. I remember, I think Jazz actually had the shorts on.
Darian wears them a lot from her Instagram pictures. She's always posting from the gym. I see them, and I was like, oh, I think she's a fan.
Yeah, probably.
I'm not stalking Instagrams. I'm literally
she's
trying
not
to get her on the
responding
show.
because we've been trashing the trolley uniforms. And
yeah,
Vish hasn't been.
You gotta let me do the outreach, I guess, because I'll be like, look, we both love these jerseys. You gotta.
Me and Matt hate them. Vish loves them. Oh. But Vish is a more old school Canes fan. I just called you old, Vish.
Yeah, I know. I was like, you literally just called him old.
We're not that far apart as much as we look.
He's class of 03. I'm class of 08. And then Matt's way younger.
Yeah.
So
we do have a question in the chat. So I don't think we can talk about recruiting specifically. So Parrish, we'll pause that one because we can't name players. However,
we kind of talked about the front court.
Yeah, we did talk a little bit about the front court, but just if there's anything else you want to like, I guess you do coach the front court, we did talk a little bit about, some of the players specifically. But what do you expect them to? What kind of load do you expect them to carry from a scoring standpoint, maybe, or defensively? How do you think they can improve?
And not just Nat and Cam, Daniela and Aurora as well are in the front court too.
I just think with our front court, you're going to see a lot of versatility. I mean, you bring in Danny and you bring in Aurora. I mean, they both bring, a little excitement to the game. I mean, Danny is someone that can play in and out as well. She's she's an amazing rebounder. Aurora is getting back into the swing of things, so it's going to be exciting to see her once she gets into her groove. But I mean, they're definitely going to be able to help us. They're they're all mobile post players. I mean, they're not just these post players that just stand in the block and sit there and wait on somebody to drive to the lane that you would sit in a zone. You can actually play man with them and, do some exciting things. So on the defensive end, just excited about their versatility on both sides of the ball.
Are we gonna see Daniela at the 5 or the 4 more? I know she's a little bit shorter, but she was playing the 5 at Wichita State. Is she someone that maybe you could kind of be that positionless player and move into a whole bunch of positions?
Yeah, you can rotate her the 4 to 5. I mean, she's going to be a lot like Nat, where you can play them both. They can be on the court at the same time. She can play with Nat, or she can play with Cam. So she has that versatility as well.
How's their free throw shooting?
It's getting better.
I was about to ask the same thing. We had a rough last year at the Stripe.
I think we were in the bottom percentile, if not 2 percentile, in free throw shooting last year. So we're a little traumatized.
When she says percentile, we mean NCAA, not ACC.
Like overall the teams.
Yeah, well, our players actually spend a lot of time working on their free throws because they plan on getting to the line. So especially the post players, that's something that we do when we do our individual workouts, is making sure that we finish with consecutive free throws at the end. You can't just make one and miss one, but you have to at least make 10, or you just continue to shoot until you miss. So
we won't have to close our eyes this season.
No.
I mean, Haley and Hannah, I mean, the two of them alone will bring up our free throw percentage like tenfold. So not worried about them. So last question we usually end with is who should we try to get on the show next? I know you said Darion. We're still working on her, but who besides Darion, who should we try to get on the show?
Let me see. I think you should try to get Nay.
Okay.
Freshmen. Yeah.
We have had Leah Harmon and Jasmine on, so
yeah, I think you should try to get a Nay. She has a great personality.
I hear she's like the Energizer Bunny.
She is. She's always going, never. I mean, she just works hard. I just told you she's up in the gym at 5:45. So, yeah.
That's all I want to see is the inside of my eyelids at 5:45.
Me too. I'm right with you.
I mean, she works nights, so she's like up at 4, but
I go to bed at 4 a.m. So 5:45 is a little early for me.
So she's like saying it as if like she works a normal schedule and is not up at all hours normally.
Backstory, I don't know if you guys read the DMs, that we had to go through multiple dates before we got Coach Paige on the show because of her availability and then me working at night. So I appreciate your flexibility with coming on and allowing us to pick a few dates here and there. So
thank you for not giving up.
No, we're relentless. Anything we should ask Coach Ivy about when we get her on the show in the next coming weeks?
Ooh, nah, I can't think of anything right now.
No, okay, that's fine. Maybe in the off season after you guys make a run through the tournament, we can do a whole coaching roundtable with all of you guys at once.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah,
I'm already foreshadowing a tournament run. It happened once. I called the men's Final Four 2 seasons ago, so. It has happened, so good vibes. But anyway, Coach, thank you so much for coming on. The guys are very appreciative that you picked Popeyes.
Great day for us.
It is. Prediction.
Great day for well-seasoned chicken.
This weekend.
Oh yeah, we do need a Miami FSU football prediction.
Ask me that question. Come on, it's you, Miami.
Give us a score prediction though. The spread is I think at 21.5 right now.
Oh, that's it?
So, like, let's say 40, 45 to 21.
Okay. I like it. Will you guys be there?
Yes.
Nice.
But before you go, let's do a plug. So, exhibition game on campus, Sunday, free admission. If you're traveling to Miami, going to the football game, and you're there Sunday, head over to the Watt. We always say it's the best value in Miami in terms of going to watch high quality basketball.
We might be there.
Tickets are inexpensive, but in this case they are free.
They're
free.
Vish, we have to talk. I think we could make that.
Yes.
I'm gonna go, but I wasn't sure if you were.
Oh yeah, my brother's in town. He can wait. He's only visiting from London. It's okay.
Yeah.
What about brother?
What?
Brother.
No, so he has a wedding he has to go to Saturday, so like the game is like the morning-ish, so he'll probably be sleeping off a hangover. But if you guys are looking for a good tailgate to hit up before the football game, we'll be in Greenlot. Beer, liquor, all the food. We grill Krispy Kreme donuts. You're always welcome. I tweeted out on my Twitter, which you just followed. Thank you. So you guys are welcome to come have food and drinks, whatever you want.
I feel Coach Bree might judge us.
The grill and the Krispy Kreme?
The whole thing. Have you seen what we consume at these?
She doesn't have to know.
Doritos.
She doesn't have to know.
The Krispy
Oh,
Kreme is the healthy stuff.
we will see you at the dinner on November 1st.
Yes,
Oh, yeah,
see you
yeah,
at the
we're
dinner.
going.
See you Sunday and see you at the dinner.
Yeah.
Yes.
No,
All right. Thanks so much, Coach Page.
Thank you,
No,
Coach.
thank you all. Have a good night.
Have a good
You
night.
too.
Okay, bye.
Yo, the half an hour goes by so quick. I'm telling you.
Never a bad interview.
Right?
Never a bad interview with the women's team. They are all approachable, engaging, and that's why anyone that interacts with them just falls in love with the team. It's the people.
And we didn't talk about it that much, but her resume, as far as what she's accomplished, I know I said it at the intro, is like insane. Like she played 11 years in the WNBA. She was the 3rd overall pick to the Mystics in 1998. What else? Let's see here. She's in the UF Athletic Hall of Fame as a Gator great. She was an All-American honoree. Finalist for the National Player of the Year one year in college. I think she was the first ever draft pick for the Mystics. I think that was their like inaugural season. Played 8 years with them and 3 years with the Sparks. And then she's just been coaching in college like crazy. Like she's a legendary player and coach. Like we are very, very lucky to have her on staff.
And she just sent a message saying thank you all.
See? And she picked
you.
Popeyes. Oh, and
Yeah.
the Panthers lost. So we're going to ignore that.
We're talking hockey in October. What are we doing?
I don't even
So
know it started. Damn.
yeah, well, I knew because Melissa went to the first game. That's why I knew. Yeah, no, like we always say, not only are they great interviews, they're great people. So that's why anyone interacts with our women's program media is like, wow, they're so good. Yeah, that's been our experience as well. They're just great
And we
people.
got some good clips for the recap too.
Can you let me do my job once without trying to micromanage everything? Anyway,
Oh no, I'm just saying. I mean, the
I am gonna do. I'm
the
gonna do my,
Popeyes clip is going to be in there.
I'm gonna do my job right now by playing our sponsors so we get paid.
Guess what, everyone? Football is back, and it's here to stay until February. Did you know that you can enhance your football viewing experience with Underdog Fantasy? Join over 1 million fans across 33 states that made picks on Underdog last year. My personal favorite is the higher-lower plays on my favorite NFL players on Sunday mornings after watching the Canes win on Saturday. The website is easy to use, and the plays are easy to make. I love playing CD Lamb higher rushing yards and waiting for the Cowboys to run a reverse. I never got into fantasy football because I didn't want to cheer against my own team, but with Underdog Fantasy, I can support my team by making picks for higher stat lines. Making picks on Underdog is straightforward and signing up is even easier. Just head over to Underdog's simple-to-use mobile app or UnderdogFantasy.com. Sign up with the promo code 5REASONS. That is the word 5 reasons spelled out FIVEREASONS. And Underdog will give you a free pick to use on your first cash pick'em entry, plus up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you deposit. That's Underdog Fantasy, promo code 5REASONS, to claim your new customer special of a free pick and your deposit offer.
Must be 18 or over, 19 or over in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 or older in Colorado for some games, 21 or older in Massachusetts and Arizona, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Arizona, dial 1-800-NEXT-STEP. That's 1-800-639-8783 or text NEXT STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 Hope line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY, which is 467-369.
That was
We're back.
bad.
You're getting the checks, so
Poor
Yeah,
Dish, man.
the
Having
Adidas-
to read that all.
The Adidas football account just posted a Cam Ward
I saw that.
advertise. I was like, that's cool. I was about to retweet it, and then I realized it was on the Buckets account. I'm like, I gotta go to my account.
There's definitely times when I've been on the Buckets account on accident and been like, oops, oh well.
Well, I tweeted out that she was gonna be on the show, and then I hit tweet, and then I realized that autocorrect changed her name back to one R, so I deleted it and then retyped the whole thing over again.
You typed a tweet twice.
Respect.
How are you still upright? Do you need a glass of water or something to get through?
Oh, look, I'm wearing a new hoodie.
Nice.
I try to break out the new hoodies when we have guests on.
I have that same hoodie.
And you bought it for your family too,
Actually, yeah, I bought several copies of that, several versions of that hoodie.
right?
Speaking of which, you got your stickers?
Oh, I did. There's one right here.
Yeah.
Should I
Wait,
take
hold
it
on.
down?
Wait, you don't have to. You don't have to. I'll zoom in. All right.
Let me take it down.
Well, I'll still keep it zoomed in because that way you can hold it up to the camera.
Wow.
We have not decided exactly what she's going to do with these, but we do have.
But they're really cool, and now
They're
that's
cool.
one on my laptop.
Sometimes it being cool is reason enough.
Although 2 people on my Twitter said they want one, so
Are you going to sell them or give them away? This is the question.
I don't even know where I would sell them. On what website would I sell these?
I don't know. People want to be like, pay me shipping and handling. What is it?
I feel like I would have to give AB from About the Fans part of that since he designed it.
Yeah, probably.
We can get some lawyers involved. We can take ownership. Anyway.
No.
Big news day yesterday, though, on the hoops front. Back on topic here.
Tell us.
I mean, what, was no one else paying attention when they had a whole media day?
No, I know. I'm saying, let's talk about it.
Let's start with the men first. So I guess the biggest news coming out of that was Kyrie Huey's injured.
Yeah, he had hand surgery.
Hand surgery. He's out indefinitely. I guess I'll start with you, Melissa. Thoughts on impact here and how concerned should we be?
I mean, obviously, we don't know how he fits. I mean, you're assuming he's a big part of the rotation because he's your backup big. So that's really disappointing. I think what's going to end up happening, because Lynn Kidd's got to have a break at some point. So what I think is going to end up happening is, and Matt mentioned this in I think in our chat, or maybe it was Vish, I don't remember, that we might see some rotation with Brandon Johnson at the 5 and playing a little bit of small ball until we get him back, would be my assumption. But we know how to play small ball. We've been doing it for years.
Matt?
Yeah, no, I agree with that. I think someone else who might get, maybe slight bump of minutes. I mean, who knows how many minutes like Kyrie Huey was going to get from the jump, but I think AJ Stad McRae is someone to look at too, because I think he's like a bigger body guard. He's only like 6'4", 6'5", but someone that can guard a lot of positions. So he gives you that versatility. But yeah, no, it's going to be staggering a lot of minutes between Lynn Kidd and Brandon Johnson at the start. So we don't know how long he's going to be out, but hopefully he's back sooner than later.
Is Yusuf, God, I'm going to butcher this pronunciation.
The guy
the Yale transfer, is he an option out here?
Melissa, you want to go first or?
No.
I mean,
well, so here, let me elaborate a little bit. So he was brought in, I guess, as, I know in football terms preferred walk on. I'm not sure if he's on scholarship. He might be on scholarship because we had extras.
No, he was not.
He's on scholarship.
But he wasn't, necessarily brought in as an impact player. One of the things that, and this is going to age out pretty soon, but the Ivy League did not honor the COVID year. So that's why so many of their players transfer for their senior year, because they still have that year left and they can't use it in the Ivy League.
That's how we got Jada Patrick last year.
Yeah. And so he's doing that. I don't think the idea was for him to have a big role. However, I think what we've seen, I get what you're saying. We've been playing small ball for the last 2 years or 3 years. It worked for 2 of those 3 years. Did not work well last year. But I think what I saw in terms of how we attacked the portal and the players we went for was a decided shift away from that. And I don't think one injury, we'll just go back to doing that. I have a feeling we will see more of Yusuf.
Well, I think
I think we're going to try and have an actual big on the floor at all times.
I think our first few games is not a big deal, but I'd prefer not to see him on the floor against like Arkansas.
I think Coach L does not want to play small ball anymore.
Oh, I don't know.
The way we attacked the portal was to load up on actual power forwards.
Yeah, but if he's like another Nwoko, then there's no point of having him on the floor if he's just going to make things worse. That's what I'm saying. He made experiments.
But so the problem with that is we're pretending like putting Brandon Johnson at the 5 is a good option.
He's taller than Norchad.
Norchad was a different type of player, and
I know, I'm just saying.
No, but Norchad was
Oh.
very limited last year without Jordan Miller next to him, especially
Mhm.
defensively. And what I'm saying is, and we're going to find out over the course of the next few weeks, because clearly, I think, look, again, we don't know what anyone's role is going to be. A lot of new players. I think it was pretty apparent, at least to me, that Plan A was Lynn Kidd starts and plays 25 to 30 minutes a game, and the rest of the center minutes go to Kyrie Huey. And that one of those two would pretty much be on the floor at all time. We'd always have a big. And then if you're limiting Brandon Johnson to just having to play at the 4, you can easily see us eating minutes, Johnson Arriga getting some minutes and kind of always having a real 4 out there versus what we've been doing, the last 3 years, really, which is a lot, which was, the center's undersized and there's really a 3 next to him playing the 4. At most times, right? So that was the shift that I thought we were trying to make here, and I don't know that one injury is going to throw that concept out and go back to let's put a power forward at center, let's get a small forward at power forward, and kind of go back to playing smaller. I'd be surprised if we did that because it felt like one of the conclusions we made in the offseason, in addition to all the other issues, we did have some team chemistry issues last year as well, and other issues going on beyond. We played small ball and didn't work, but I do think it felt like one of the conclusions. I was going to actually ask Coach L about this at the tip-off that they never showed up for. It did feel like there was a dedicated decision, like intentionality of we're going to move away from that and get back to playing more traditionally. Which, if you look at Coach L's tenure here, most of the time we've had multiple bigs on the floor. We've actually played as a bigger team than most college teams for most of the time he's been here until these last couple of years.
I don't know. I don't know how useful.
Yeah, but I mean, also college basketball has shifted a lot since those years as well.
I mean, but you look at what UConn is running out there. It was not. They played bigs. Like I don't.
I mean, they had bigger guards.
Not that you necessarily emulate, because they won, you do what they do. I agree, it's shifted somewhat. I just felt like if his plan, and again, we don't know. I didn't get a chance to ask him if his plan though was to, hey, we're going to move away from that and try to play a little bit more traditional lineups. Again, I don't think you throw that out because of Kyrie Huey getting a hand injury.
I can't pronounce his name either.
Yusuf.
If he's not serviceable, then you don't have a choice. You're not going to just throw somebody on the floor because they're big. We saw what happened with Nwoko.
He played Nwoko a lot, but also
we didn't have a choice. But he wasn't good.
But I mean, he struggled. But also, he was not. The issue wasn't Nwoko wasn't good. The issue was Norchad Omier wasn't good.
I mean, at the same time, Yusuf. I mean, I've watched limited film on him, but he seems more like a 4 too. Like he does not. I think he's only 6'9". I know that's taller than we've had of recent.
He is 6'9". Yeah.
Yeah. I think Brandon Johnson's 6'9" or 6'8".
Brandon Johnson's 6'8".
6'8" or 6'9".
Yeah, he's yeah. But I mean, one thing that stood out to me with Brandon Johnson was his ability to guard the post. I thought that was one of his strengths. I don't know what his wingspan is, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about just playing a guy just because.
I don't think so. Okay, so to elaborate here, if we thought he couldn't play, why did we go get him? I think
he's a practice body, and we had the scholarship.
You can you don't go in the portal and grab someone and give them a scholarship to be a practice body.
I mean, but also to be, I mean, he played 4 minutes. Yeah. To be fair, also there was a weight of no one knew if he was a scholarship player, if he was going to be a walk-on. My guess is maybe they were waiting to see if they could get someone else too.
So was that was us saying that, right? I don't know that was necessarily indecision within the coaching staff.
What do you mean?
Well, we were like, is he on scholar? Because look, we can be transparent here, right? We weren't sure who the guy was. He wasn't really on our radar. All of a sudden, he's committed to Miami. And so naturally the question was, is he on scholarship or not? I don't know that the coaches had that same indecision. This is more us talking. Like, no one, when Brandon Johnson commits, no one's like, is he on scholarship? Of course he is, right? So I mean, I think it was more us speculating, are we using a scholarship on someone that was, not necessarily coveted by big programs? I guess my point is a lot of ways to get a practice. They must have, again, like you both mentioned, it's like he was logging big minutes at Yale. There's a lot of film on this kid. But I don't think you go get him just to say, well, he's good to have in practice. Like, I think they must have seen something. They scouted him, obviously. They must have at least envisioned some way he could contribute. Or I don't think you go get him as a 1-year player in the portal. It just doesn't really make sense to do that.
I don't know. We'll see.
Also, Stanton McCrae's only a junior.
I think this is his only year of eligibility, so I think he might have played at community college.
Oh, because on the site it says he's a redshirt junior.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it does.
Yes.
Oh, wow. I did not know that.
Do you think we see a little bit more of the freshman Johnson Arrigu because of Kyrie's injury? Because he's tall and big.
So when it comes to Yusuf, we don't want to play someone just because they're tall.
That's what I'm asking you. Because
Are we playing
Johnson? Are we going to see more of the freshman?
What potentially, I think they're going to have to work that out, right? But my entire point with Yusuf was whether or not he was a plan A or plan Z, right? They intentionally went out and got this kid, knowing he's only got 1 year left. It's now that year, and someone that plays this position that we all thought was going to play got injured. That would be a scenario where you would theoretically put him in, give him some minutes. I can't imagine they went and got him to not even have that as an option.
I guess we'll see.
I think he's going to play some, and if he performs, I think he'll play more. And I think the other thing, based off of how last year went sideways, you mentioned Nwoko. One of the reasons he struggled is he wasn't ready to play yet. Here, I know he didn't play a lot at Yale, but you have a 5th-year guy now. He played a lot more basketball overall. It's probably a lot more seasoned. We just had Coach Page on talking about how the freshmen had to learn how to practice and do workouts at this level. So bringing in someone seasoned that's been at the collegiate level for 4 years, when you have to break glass in case of emergency, they might be more comfortable doing it with someone like that versus a freshman.
We'll see. Hopefully Kyrie gets healthy quickly.
Yeah, for multiple reasons, but yeah. And the other big thing I saw coming out, not like news really, but just everyone raving about Brandon Johnson, our new stretch 4. So on a scale of 1 to they open a Chick-fil-A in your building, how excited are you to see Brandon Johnson this year?
Well, listen, he's wearing number 2, so it's big shoes to fill. So that's an important number in Miami history now. But yeah, he is a stretch 4, so I'm looking forward to hopefully being a really big fan of his, because everybody knows my love of the stretch 4.
I feel like you said it that way on purpose in case I clip it and put in the intro.
No, I was literally just mocking myself at the beginning of the intro.
So I did pick up on that then, and I'm like, that felt like you were.
I was just mocking myself on the intro.
Yeah. All right then. I guess anything else?
Did you watch the Coach Cullop presser? Because I literally wanted to run through a wall after.
Yeah, no, we'll get to the women in a second. I'm trying to do this in order because our editor makes it easier on him if we don't jump back and forth between the men's and women.
Oh, I thought we were done talking about the men.
Well, I mean, Matt didn't even weigh in on Brandon Johnson. We haven't talked about the guards. We haven't talked about really anything other than Kyrie Huey, and then you guys both getting mad at me because I thought maybe this transfer we brought in might get some minutes. But anyway.
No, we just disagreed with you.
I don't know. I felt antagonism.
It's like the Coral Gables trolley uniform.
It's this M conspiracy of M names. I guess anything else stand out to the two of you from those media days? And I guess based on the current, do we still we still feel like the same starting five we were talking about, months ago was going to be where we roll out in an exhibition game next week.
So what do we think?
Wait, what was the starting five? I don't even remember.
It was
Johnson, Cleveland, Blackman, Nigel.
Yes, there. So you got it. Yeah, that's what we had.
I think that's what we're gonna start with to begin the year. But if Jaleel is as good as advertised, we'll see what happens.
I'll be honest. I actually think Jaleel's going to start.
For Blackman?
Yeah.
It's not gonna start for Nigel.
No, but you could potentially. You guys are the ones that get obsessed with small ball. You could move Matthew out, or you could, there's other players.
Listen. Leave Cleveland alone. Keep him at the 3. Let him thrive. He suffered enough last year.
We love Matthew Cleveland, just not the city of Cleveland.
Swear to God, the way you guys jump.
Oh my God.
I was like the one defending him more than you two. Anyway, we haven't talked about my man Joe Bay yet either, too.
Well, was it Luke Chaney was at the open practice and he tweeted about he was impressed with Joe Bay's shooting.
We only have one person to thank for that.
Jack McClinton.
Jack McClinton is the reason that I am vice president of the Joe Bay fan club. I'm not going to displace my man Bill, who's definitely
Bill's the president of the
president, but I will get the front seat with him. You guys can sit in the back seat.
I wonder if Joe Bay likes Almond Joy.
Oh man,
what?
Probably. Do they eat almond?
He doesn't even know what an Almond Joy is.
Do we need to get Paul Joe Bay on the show?
I would talk to Paul Joe Bay. I think it'd be an interesting interview. So how did he end up at Miami from France? Yeah, that would be good. Let me see if I can. Let's get Joe Bay on the show.
We're working on getting someone else on the show.
Yeah, but we can get Joe Bay on. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'd be an interesting.
One of these coaches is going to help me get Darion on.
This is unbelievable that we can't get
3 coaches now have said Darion Rogers.
Wait,
I know everyone's like Darion Rogers.
What if I get Darion Rogers on before you do?
I'll be very happy. I haven't tried since I DM'd her and she ignored me months ago, right after the Coach Cullup interview in May.
I mean, there's levers we can pull that we haven't. Melissa's trying to keep it low key a little bit. Anyway, anything
I got
else?
a clip part of this. I got a clip Coach Page saying you should get Darion on, and then clip Coach Cullup saying it too, and then I don't even remember who else said it. I think it was Coach Bree.
Men's first exhibition is next week.
8 days. 8 days.
It's the 30th, right? Is that what? Because I remember.
Are we going to that?
I thought we'll talk off.
I'm assuming we're going to that.
You guys live stream it for me.
Is it going to be on TV? It's probably on ACC Network X, right? Most of the time it is.
Should I FaceTime you?
Yeah, just FaceTime me at the game.
Good. We'll get our.
I'm having to bring a charger.
We'll get our press credentials and everything else revoked so that Matt can. It is on ACC Network X. We don't have to violate.
Yay!
Our signed media.
All 3 of us will be live tweeting from the Buckets account during that game.
we did have some collisions last year, and then we just decided to let Melissa handle everything. So.
No, Matt's better at live tweeting it because his breakdowns are the best.
I mean, Matt's doing basketball. The live tweeting.
I do. Mine is very slow though because I'm typing out.
Well, yeah, exactly. I was about to say, Matt. There's live tweeting, and then Matt's doing live analysis, which is not the same thing as going. What the bleep was that?
Nigel for 3.
Melissa and I angry tweet the same way. I've been much better.
Why is what's his face checking in with 4 minutes left to go in the UNC game?
I mean, that was not a tweet. That was me almost elbowing you out of press row. Like what? Wait.
I don't even remember names anymore because I'm just have PTSD.
No, I know exactly who it was. It was Jaklai. He subbed in for Nigel at the end of the UNC game. We gotta get Coach Owen just ask him about that.
Is that the same game he dropped someone? Like when he had the crossover? It was, wasn't it?
Who, Jakai?
Yeah, he had the crossover.
No, that was that was the road. That was the road UNC game, right?
But he missed the spot.
Yeah, he missed it, but I mean,
yeah, but still, that was a moment. I don't fault him. He played hard. He just shouldn't have. Anyway, he was not an effort issue. I mean, I'm never going to do this because I have too much respect for the man, but I would love to ask Coach O what the hell happened at the Virginia game where he just sat in the corner of the bench and didn't talk to anyone for the entire second half.
I'd be too afraid to ask him that
No,
question.
I have too much respect for him to do that. So I would
Yeah.
never do that. Maybe on this, if we had if it was Coach Meyer, I'd just ask her off the air. But like, what the hell's that? But Coach L, we don't have that kind of relationship. So
I don't know if that would have been airport conversation, but
I mean, we would have asked her before that. We sat out by the wrap with her. We asked her up there, like, what the hell's that? But that's still the most bizarre thing I've seen in his entire tenure here. He just had enough. Just sat in the corner. So there was some
I just
chemistry issues
remember I
last
was
year.
I was in Costa Rica at that time, and I didn't have cell service, and I came back and I checked the score, and I thought my phone was broken because it said we had like 20 something points or 30 points.
and it was.
And I was like, wait, what?
Oh, you missed the first half where like Wooga closed it by hitting consecutive threes to get to like 17 points or whatever it was. He dropped a couple of bombs to like pull us up above 15 points before we got to halftime. That was by the way, so that's a good transition as we start talking before we talk about the women's press day. Retirement happened between our last
Tony
show.
Bennett.
Yeah, speaking of Virginia,
Crazy.
so
like 2 weeks before the season starts, he retires.
Yeah, so Melissa, I'm just gonna tell you this formally. You have permission to give your opinion. I know for some reason
Someone got mad on Twitter
tweeted about this, and apparently, someone decided that they had sign off approval on what she tweets. So
they're like, you shouldn't speculate about this, blah blah blah. And I'm like, who are you?
How dare you, Melissa?
I didn't even respond. I just went straight to the block. I just blocked. I'm like, I don't have.
Anyway, do we buy his ex? So again, floor is open to speculate here. We are not required to. Do we buy his explanation? That was just
as credentialed media. Can I state a rumor that I heard?
I mean, how bad is it? Use your best judgment.
Put it
in the chat real quick in the private chat, and I'll let you know.
I mean, they talk about other credentialed like college basketball guys are talking about rumors of why he's stepping down.
Yeah, but we cover. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, you can definitely.
Okay, so from his press conference that he gave, he made it seem like he's retiring because of like the whole NIL landscape and all of that. But the rumor I heard is the reason why he waited so long to retire is so that one of his assistants would just get promoted.
I heard that too. Ron Sanchez, yeah.
Yeah.
But then I also heard too, like one of the guy that it was Jeff Goodman, I think, that broke it.
Yeah.
He was talking about like if that was really the case, like would he still be going out on recruiting trips and all this stuff? Because he's not really a guy that really like he does it because he has to. He doesn't really do it because he really wants to. So like I get why it looks like that, but like I think he just really realized this is all speculation, obviously still, like how college basketball has changed, and he just doesn't want to deal with it.
Yeah, it's the timing is interesting. In that, like I said, I was there, but I didn't stay for the men's portion because our team couldn't travel because of the hurricane. But he did the whole press junket, and it's kind of interesting that's kind of the last. That's like the kickoff to the season for them, and then they kind of go into their normal flow of, probably have like a weekly media availability. And other than that, you're doing basketball things. So it's kind of interesting that, Matt, to your point, like he did the recruiting in the offseason, and he did the press kickoff, which none of them actually want to do. And then you get to the part where, we're going to play games now, and I get to coach and practice, like the stuff that the coaches, where the game has changed or not, like to do. Like that's what really, everything else is like a side, a necessary evil for the job.
Mm-hmm.
It's that when he got to that point, that's when he retires. It's not, I could see it like in March or when their season ends, him being like, I cannot do this again. I cannot do another offseason of the recruiting. But after you went through all of that crap, did the media tip off, and then, all right, we're going to set the practice schedule. We got set up. We're ready to go. That's when he retires. It's a bizarre timing.
So what I speculated about when it first happened, where some guy got like snippy with me, is that because it was so close to the season, I tweeted out like I was concerned that it was something health related. And I didn't say it was because it was health related. I said, I hope it's not health related given the suddenness of him retiring. And that was before the rumors started with the whole wanting the NIL thing and all of that. So, guys, it's the internet. People can state their opinions. If you disagree, doesn't mean that they're wrong. Also, I have a bone to pick with people's grammar because the amount of times people misspell lose by spelling it loose is driving me crazy. That could have been a good final thoughts.
You're a looser.
You don't get final thoughts on Little Matt.
But I'm just saying, like, loose is LOOSE.
He's trying to steal my segments. What the hell?
Loose is LOSE. Get it together, people. Spell things correctly.
On Coach Picked Popeye's week, Matt, she's trying to usurp us by taking over final.
No,
she has to have something. She can't have the Chick-fil-A pick. So
I'm just very annoyed by the amount of people that misspell the word lose. Like, FSU is going to lose this weekend. That's LOSE. And you have screws loose if you think FSU is going to win. That's LOOSE.
And that was our new segment. Grammar
there you go. It's like multiple times on the internet. I just can't take it anymore. Spell correctly.
You just love to get riled up about idiots on the internet.
It's just really annoying that it's just constantly being misspelled.
Oh my god, this is so random, but I need to. It's not going to go on my final thoughts. I went to Chipotle. Oh my god. So this lady, you know how I told you there was a lady once that wanted just the bean juice, like in her bowl, like just
not the
in her
beans.
bowl. Yeah, but not the beans. Dude, this lady got white rice, black beans, and she was like, "Can you put extra bean juice in it?" And so, literally, the girl is like using those little like salsa containers to like get bean juice and puts like a whole one in, and she's like, "I need more." And so then she puts another one in. She's like, "Can you do one more?" Puts that one in, and then is like, "Okay, like what else do you want on your bowl?" And she's like, "No, that's it. White rice and bean juice."
And extra bean juice.
Wait, there were
beans too. There are beans too, but extra bean juice.
So okay, so
what are we doing?
Well, let's see what we are doing. So Melissa's policing spelling on the internet, and you are insulting black beans and rice to our Cuban audience. So what we're doing is I'm gonna be so.
Well, why do you go to Chipotle for that? You can literally just get that at home for like half the price. Just buy a can of beans.
They're in California. They don't have access to Cubans like we do. Okay, it's not as easy.
Just get a can of black beans and just drink it at that rate. Like, what are we doing?
We are insulting the audience apparently because you just want.
Well, why do you need so much juice?
Okay, you want me to really insult them? Cuban food is overrated. There you go. You heard it here first.
So, Melissa, do you have thoughts on the women's? Matt
will leave the show completely. You just kicked him out of the stream.
I just he needed a timeout for that. You can't go after my.
Let him. Yo, stop kicking him out of the stream.
I didn't do it. He left this time. It's a joke. I'm gonna come back in. I didn't do it the second time.
You're so rude for kicking him out of the stream.
He went after the Cubans, man. Those are our people.
He lives in California.
Coach Lauren Yaga, what are we doing?
Matt, come back.
I mean, he probably thought, did he leave because we were going to talk about the women's team? But anyway, he's free to come back. I will let him back in. I didn't ban him like I did CCH that one time. So women's team. So you mentioned.
No, I'm not continuing with the show until Matt comes back.
All right, so women's team.
You're such an asshole.
I didn't make him leave. He left. I don't know why. He quit. Like, seriously, I didn't boot him out. He left.
Buckets drama.
So we seriously cannot talk about the women's team, which he wasn't going to talk about anyway until he comes back.
Where should I call him? Like live on air?
Oh, yeah. Here we go. You want to do this?
We're gonna call Matt.
All right, call Matt. Oh, wait, he's back.
I was getting ready to call him. Look.
Love how it's Malcolm Grant.
I refused to do to continue the show until you came back.
Look, if he wants to leave the show, he can leave the show. Like,
Kick him out of the
stream. Me out
again. I brought you back.
This is like the 6th time at least.
Multiple times.
Yeah, numerous
All right.
times.
Now we can talk about the women's team.
Yeah, Matt, what are your thoughts on Simone Pellish? I don't have any thoughts on her either. I just made a jerk.
What a surprise! You're being a jerk.
I think she will be a great change of pace 3 for Jasmine.
I think she's gonna play more at the 2, but
I think you could see her at the 3 because she's tall.
She is, but I think she's more playing on the perimeter, and I don't know that. I think Coach Kulop wants our 3s to play more in the paint inside the 3-point line. So,
well, if she's running Chin series, she'll be out on the perimeter.
I feel like her.
Can we explain what Chin series is?
He's done this on the show already. Do you watch the show, Melissa?
This is like a
show's going so far off the rails.
I'll have to have like a whiteboard app, and I can show you what Chin series is.
That's really good off-season content for next year. We could just do like
we're gonna have negative views on that. Like, I don't think you understand.
No, well, we can actually. We'll
once the season starts, and
no, we can talk offline. I have some plans. But anyway, so ideas, but let's
hopefully I don't get kicked out of those.
The faces Matt makes.
Hopefully you didn't get kicked out at all. You got a 2-second timeout and then
you kicked it out.
Now you're my parent giving me timeouts. Okay, great.
Yes, you insulted the Cuban people.
As the dictator of this show, you kicked him out of the stream.
I'm sorry your food is not good. Jeez.
All right.
This man snorts Chipotle and he's talking about food. I don't understand.
Coach Kulop had a presser the other day, and I love her already. I mean, I already did, but I love her more now. I hope we're really good this year because...
Do you care to elaborate, Melissa, or are we just going to go with that? Is that our basketball analysis?
No, go ahead. You can talk.
No, what about the press conference?
You to elaborate.
It's like, we are not ready for the season.
Now you're trying to tell me what to say.
No, I asked you a question. I was absolutely not telling you what to say. I asked you a question because you said you listened to her press conference and you're even more of a fan of hers. So it's like, what about
elaborate
the
why you're more of a fan?
Yeah, I like her focusing on the culture of the program, and she's been very focused on team-oriented activities this offseason and the team coming together and all of these things, especially with all the transfers. I like her team-oriented mindset.
So, here for the Chin series.
You're here for the Chin series there? Did she talk about Chin series, Melissa?
No. Oh, also, I thought of note. I really should have rewatched it because I watched it like 2 days ago, and so I'm like trying to recall. I should have rewatched it before the show. My bad. But interesting because there's 5 captains for this season, which is a lot considering there's like 13 players on the team. But Cam got the most votes from the team.
Hey, I called it. Remember I told you?
So who are the other captains?
Cam, Nat, Jasmine, and the Cavenders.
So is that also, since we asked this question about the men, is that our starting 5? From
like open practice video, I saw like those 5 playing together a lot. So I'm not sure because I had thought Darion would start at the 2, but I mean. You're playing a really small backcourt.
I was unsure if we'd see Lamaya to and go bigger, but yeah, it looks like we might be going smaller.
Is she going to be ready for the season to start? So
she's been on. I mean, all we've seen is they do those practice. There was one practice that they kind of had extended video of on YouTube, but mostly it's snippets. But she's been in all the workouts. Everything we're hearing is she's good.
I feel like a double Cavender backcourt is really small.
They're what, 5'7"?
Like I think they're listed at like 5'6". Hold on.
They're Haley is I've seen her in person. She's not tall. I don't know what they're listed at, but no. But I guess so, Matt. I mean, all joking aside, given running a lot of motion,
they're listed at 5'6".
Running that stuff, how impactful is that to play? Is it because one thing this will, so positive and negative. Negative is they are undersized. Positive is that will stretch the floor pretty significantly. What's the trade-off there offensively with some of the stuff we think we're going to run?
Yeah, I mean, based on what I think they're running, I think the thing that they really have now, I mean, you guys can speak to this more, is I think I mean, it's similar to the men's team, a lot of versatility, right? Like, I mean, we mention I mention it every time we bring up the women's team, but like someone like Nat Marshall who, has size but can do multiple things on the floor. And I think even like Cameron Williams too has that same, maybe not like, her face-up game isn't at the same level like Coach said earlier in the interview. If you missed that, go check it out. But I think it's just like the versatility is what's going to really, help us on both sides of the floor. But yeah, like I do get what you're saying with like, I mean, if both the twins are starting, I would think like defensively that would kind of be, a hindrance, being at 5'7". But I mean, overall, like I think you have a lot of players that can do a lot of different things on the floor, and you can really mix up your lineups, and it's very similar to what I think we have with the men's team now. When you compare like the past few years, so yeah,
there aren't a lot of bigger guards that will. I'm less worried about playing a smaller backcourt, especially if it provides, more ball handling and shooting than we'd otherwise have, because they can both kind of run the point a little bit. So and I think more of that.
And there's always ways to go around that, right? Like defensively, like you're picking up at full court, right? Because you want to have another, there's ways around it. I don't know how Coach Kulop is going to come out and play. I know she's spoken about it a little bit, but like,
she does talk a lot about playing fast, being fast.
Yeah, playing fast.
Yes,
so like, I mean,
he
probably a lot of
tempo a lot.
Yeah, like applying a lot of ball pressure and whatnot. Basically limiting the amount of time the other team is in the half court, like running sets, right? So, I mean, there's ways you can counteract it as well.
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, like we've talked a lot about, the Cavenders were here a couple of years ago, then they were away for a year, now they're back. And Haley gets a lot of the attention as she was the starting point guard, first team All ACC, leading scorer on the team. Hannah's defense is really strong. And I don't know a lot of people remember that. She was splitting. She started some of those games. Carla Arjevich also was starting at times that both of them were coming off the bench too, because we were starting Jalea.
Jasmine took over.
Yeah. Well, we rotated a lot of players in, right? Destiny missed a lot of time that year with injuries, so there was kind of inconsistent play for Hannah, but she consistently was one of our better perimeter defenders on that team. And so that, again, you're bringing that into the starting lineup. Doesn't appear to be a bad idea. Just the other question is how many we talked to Coach Page about the freshmen. I think any of them are going to get any significant. We have so much depth. Do you think any of them are going to get any significant playing time?
I mean, at the beginning when we're playing like the lesser conference teams, we'll probably see them. But like once we get into ACC play, I doubt it, because we do have really good depth on our team.
Yeah,
and they're all guards. So
well, the freshmen are. Right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Yeah, we'll
like,
see. We
who are they going to take minutes from? Like the Cavenders are going to play. Darren Rogers is going to play. Lamaya is going to play. Jasmine's going to play.
Well, I mean, I would just, it's the same thing with the men. Who's Jaleel going to take minutes from? Whoever it is starter quality.
Yep.
But he's still gonna play a ton. He's Jaleel Bethea. So, or any of them. I think it's more. It's not. I think it'll be from a position of weakness in that we need to put one of them in because the other players aren't doing it. I think it's more can't keep these people off the floor. Same thing with Jasmine that you mentioned. That couple of years ago when we made the Elite Eight, her she was not starting at the beginning of the year. Destiny got hurt and she played so well. It's like you can't take her out.
Yeah.
Jasmine's got to keep playing. And she ended up winning the Villanova game basically by herself.
Tournament.
and we say we made the Elite Eight. Jasmine Roberts made the Elite Eight. So that game. If you again, I think it's very, obviously I think the Indiana game just gets so much more attention than that Villanova game, because the Indiana game was on primetime TV by itself, and we hit the shot at the end to win it. And the Villanova game was right before the men tipped off, so I don't know that everyone was paying as much attention. It was a Friday afternoon.
And the Indiana game was we had just it was Indiana because the men and the women were both playing them.
Yeah, but again, it was on a Monday. It was by itself.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the lead in to the men's game, which has obviously had more attention on it. And so I don't think a lot of people remember that Villanova game and the performance Jasmine put on is otherworldly, and she did lift us into the including we blew that big lead, and then with under a minute left, she made a 3-point play to win the game. I think all of that's kind of, I'm sure she remembers, but and then last year obviously it went rough, and she did talk about this, how motivated she is to not experience the snub again by just leaving no doubt. I think she's in for a huge year. She's one of the most talented players we've ever had. And it'll be interesting to see, stacking different coaching on top of what, obviously we're big fans of the previous staff too, getting a different voice in there, see if she can make to another level. She has first team all ACC potential. She's that good of a player.
For sure. Haley has that potential.
Yes, Haley does as well.
We'll see. Do we want to get into our Mount Rushmore?
Sure, we can do that. Are we going to first have an argument over what an appetizer is based on our...
I think because you said how many versions of chicken tenders can you get? I consider tenders and fries to be an entree. But if you want to call that an appetizer, go ahead.
Okay, so that's interesting because this is where it's so I agree. You could order chicken tenders with a side of something else that's an entree. You also
but they usually come together.
Yeah, but you could, well, if you're at a stadium or something, but there's plenty of restaurants you sit down at that they have chicken. They might call them something else, fingers or zingers or whatever, so that's an appetizer, right? It's just like a fried chicken.
You want to roll with that one?
No, it's not. I'm not picking 10. What am I, you?
What am I, you?
I have a diverse palate.
Damn.
So, Vish, how was your drive from DC?
It was fine. 2 turns.
Uneventful?
It's 2 turns.
Vish drove his car down from DC.
Yeah, I know. I remember him saying that he was going to do that.
My car is back home where it belongs.
Do you have Florida plates? I forget.
I do. I have Miami plates, of course. Come on.
It's a nice car.
Yeah, my brother-in-law was joking. It was like me running that 10-miler. You don't drive this car anyway, and then you just drive it across country. It's got to be pissed off at you. It's like the same. You didn't do any of the warm-up runs, but then you go, I'm going to go run.
You drove it to New York in December.
That's true. I mean, I
mean, how often would you drive when you had it?
That's why I brought it here. I could use it a lot more here.
The last time you drove it was when you took me and Mom to the airport.
No, but it's I would sometimes, take it out, once or twice a month. It was long enough where I have an app on my phone that I can start it or check how much fuel and all that stuff. Where it would, well, no, it's on my phone, but it couldn't connect to the car because it would be your car hasn't been started in 10 days, so that the app loses the connectivity because it would run the battery out. So if it don't start it after, and I'd forget which level the garage is parked in. So it's where did I park?
Now you don't have to deal with that
3
gate
or 4 weeks ago. What's up?
Now you don't have to deal with the gate anymore.
I know. I should actually. I'm still paying for parking. I should probably get that room. But anyway, it's a lot of money.
Right. This week's Mount Rushmore is
but to your point, I mean, where I live, I'm a few blocks from the 395 tunnel in DC. So literally, when I exited the tunnel and crossed over into Virginia, the GPS says in 1,007 miles, keep left on I-95, and that 1,007 miles is the Golden Glades interchange. And
where did you stop for the night?
Jacksonville.
Duval.
I stopped by the Jacksonville airport because I was like, oh, those are real hotels versus like whatever's on the exit on the highway. So
yeah,
like, that's a good place. I stayed at a Hyatt. So
I guess next time I come to DC, I'll be meeting you at the Metro.
you're gonna make me metro to the airport to be like, we're getting on this train, or do you think you can navigate public transportation?
You'll have to give me directions.
I'll come.
Like you're actually gonna let me metro by myself to your place anyway.
I know. I know.
It's good. We'll have to go get chicken, and that's not in Virginia.
There's a Raising Cane's. They opened it at Union Station.
Yeah, we have to try that.
There's
I'm gonna come to
halal
DC just to get halal guys and Raising Cane's.
We can also try Woo Boy. That is in Virginia.
And that Chinese food place again was really good. I can eat all the vegetables and leave you with the noodles.
She somehow finds a Chinese food place on Capitol Hill and not in Chinatown, even though I'm like 3 blocks from Chinatown.
It's really good. Not as good as San Francisco.
That
Chinese
was really
food.
good. The San Francisco Chinese.
That was really, really good.
That Matt faked an illness to get out of eating. So. That guy's on the mend, though. That's good.
I mean, I don't know if Vish, but I was so tired. Vish slept on the plane. I did not. I was so tired. And then we got to the hotel, whatever. We went to a bar to kill an hour because the Chinese food place didn't open until 4:30. And we ate, and it was so full. And we went back to the room, and I was like, sorry, Vish, I don't really want to do anything for the rest of the night.
Well,
we ended up at the hotel bar later, but...
Well, after we had to go to Target.
Oh, yeah, my heating pad broke, so we did make a Target run.
We had Target run, went to the hotel bar.
Did you get apple juice, too?
No.
Yeah. She did not. And then, like 15 hours later, she woke up, and Max and I were hanging out already for several hours.
Yeah, he's like, Max is in the hotel lobby, and I was like, oh, why didn't you tell me? Because Vish was like, oh, let me know when you get up. I set an alarm because I would have slept the whole day. I was so tired. But I woke up at 10, and I was on the phone with my mom, and Vish messaged me like, hey, Max is here. And I was like, oh, let me take a picture.
No, I was respectful. She messaged me, and I'm like, okay, you're up now. Because like we didn't have anything to do, so I was going to be like, hey, wake up so we can go do nothing. But Max was on your time zone, so he shows up and he's like, hey, I'm a few blocks from. I was like, yeah, sure, come. So we were just hanging out in the lobby, and once I was sure she was awake, I'm like, yeah, Max is down here. If you want to come down.
I set my alarm for 10, so I wouldn't sleep the whole day, and then we hung out at Fisherman's Wharf for half a day.
Yeah.
And then this lady yelled in my face at dinner that night.
That's a whole other thing.
What did she yell at you for?
We
can.
Yeah, we'll let you. But basically, she was very annoyed that I was talking about medical stuff, and Vish and his friend Glenn, ever so kindly, after we got up from the dinner table, told them stop listening to our conversation and fuck off. Because I didn't say much. I was just like, oh, is it disturbing you? Sorry, because there was kids at the table. But after we left, Vish and Glenn made sure she knew that she was a bitch. She got up in my face and she was like, are you done yet? And I was sitting down and she's hovering over me. And I was like, what? She's like, are you fucking done? Are you done with the medical shit? And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Like, is it disturbing you? And she's like, yeah. And then she goes, sits at the table that's next to us. And I was like, I'm not starting. There's kids here. But Vish and Glenn let them know after that they're assholes. It wasn't even anything disgusting. I was just showing them funny x-rays.
No, it was she was so far out of line, which is
she was very out of line.
What I told them actually first I stared at them with like a death glare. They both backed up like this, and I was like, oh, they're afraid of me now, they're fucked. And then
and then Vish and his roommate.
My college roommate, who I didn't realize that stood next to me because I started,
He went off apparently. I wasn't there.
I went off, and then I hear my friend saying, is your conversation so boring you think you need to listen to ours? I was like, oh, wingman, nice.
Nice.
I was prepared to take him out myself, but sure.
Vish was so mad that he didn't even eat dessert. This happened in between like our entrees and dessert. Like he was steaming.
I wasn't gonna in front of the kids. Plus, we still would have been sitting there waiting for the check and stuff. So that's
why I didn't say anything because I wasn't gonna start when we were still sitting there. But yeah.
God.
Anyway.
What a freaking loser.
Stupid California, man.
Yeah.
These fake time zone people.
Yeah, they don't know
It's
how to
always
behave.
it's the Northern Californians, dude. They all suck. Oh wait, well my family's there. So most of them suck.
Anyway, let's do our Mount Rushmore of our favorite appetizers. And I just realized because I'm writing the title now of like what we're talking about, and I just wrote apps, and it's like we could totally do phone apps as a Mount Rushmore at some point.
That's what when I read this at first, I thought it was phone apps because I saw apps really quick. But anyways,
but we can do phone apps next
Vish
week.
should go first. Vish never goes first. I think.
Yeah, he doesn't. Matt, you can go last because you usually go first.
Me and you both usually go first.
Well, I'm saying I'm going second, so you can go last.
You can go second. Go ahead, Vish.
So I will preface. Actually, I'm going to leave this alone because I'm sure one of you is going to say it, and I was going to say it as a joke, but I didn't really believe it. But I expect the sanctity of the Mount Rushmore, so I will not make a joke out of it. So instead, I will go with. Let's see. Start Asian. I'll go egg rolls.
Oh, very good.
My all-time favorite appetizer is spinach dip.
Okay.
For sure.
Do I want to go with what I think Vish is gonna?
Are we not allowing repeats?
Oh, are we?
I think we can get away with no repeats, right?
We'll see.
Wait, so there's no repeats?
Yeah, so you can't say egg rolls or spinach dip.
Okay. Give me Cho's, baby.
There it is.
Let's go. Put them on the board.
I almost said the joke, and I was like, there's no way Matt's not going to say Cho's.
Cho's.
Why are you spreading it out so much in that sheet of paper? How many things are you going to...
Because I do one per page.
She's got like an entire page to write 4 things down. Anyway.
You need a lot of space to write the Cho's down. They're too important. Go ahead, Vish.
They must be loaded Cho's. You need the space for it.
Loaded Cho's.
Wait,
yep.
So what do you put on? Like, what is the Cho's topping?
I mean, I'll do any Cho's. I mean, you can go exotic with your Cho's. You can keep it OG.
Wait, what is okay? Hold on. What is OG? Is it just cheese or like?
You could do just cheese. I like to liven it up. You know what I mean?
My preference pre-reflux was like chicken, beans, pico, multiple cheeses, and some salsa, preferably medium.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, there's a Mexican spot around here. It's like one of those like not fancy, but like it's like a sit down nice one. That they use like this like I forget the name of it, but it's like a Mexican mozzarella. And it's so, oh my God, it's so good. And they like individually, so they have like the chips cut into huge pieces, but they individually like make each nacho. So you get like 16 of them. So it's like a huge chip and like all the toppings are like evenly distributed on it and stuff. It's so good. But you got to go cheese, guac, sour cream, jalapenos. Got to put everything on it. Carne asada is my favorite though.
Everything.
Nice carne asada.
Everything.
What's the second?
All right.
Sorry, I took Cho's, Vish. Go ahead.
No, I wasn't going to take Cho's, but I'll take a Cuban version of Cho's, Matthew. Maraquitas, which are how have you lived in? Anyway, they are.
How do you even spell that?
I don't have to spell it. I have to say it, which I did. You're the one who decides to write things down. So they are plantain chips, but they're not like the ones you get in the bag. They're the long ones that you then get with you dip it in your sauce, and it is in your mojo sauce, and it is that shit is fire.
I googled it.
Now you know what I'm talking about, though. You've seen this served at a restaurant, Melissa.
Yes.
Okay.
My next one, I'm gonna go with the dip. Continuing with the dip, I'm gonna go chips and queso.
Okay.
Respect. That's flying dangerously close to the nachos sun there.
Well, I can't say Cho's, but chips and queso is a thing separate from nachos.
It's kind of Cho's, but we'll let it go.
No, it's just the chips and the queso.
When you go to a stadium and you order nachos, they pretty much give you a little cup of...
But they also give you jalapenos too, so it's not...
Yeah, I'm just going chips
Plus,
and queso.
queso is different from nacho cheese. So, you're wrong.
How dare you? Man, do I need
All right.
to go on the screen again?
Matt's got shows. What's next?
I'm gonna go with. I mean, I don't know. Does this count as an app? I just love it. Like some garlic cheese bread.
Yeah, of course it's
Yeah.
not.
We're going with that. Okay.
Yeah, it's
I'm
definitely
going with
not.
garlic cheese bread. I love garlic cheese bread. So good. Whew.
Yeah. No, that's definitely
Alright.
not. That's not.
Respect.
Basically-
Dip it in some ranch. I love it.
Ooh.
Fish, what's your next
I don't
one?
know about that. Dip it in ranch, really.
There's a specific place. It goes with you got to try it. Sorry, man. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, we'll be out there at some point. There will be a sporting event. We will
Oh,
come.
there's not. I mean, there's too many food places to try.
Yeah, spend a week out there.
There you go.
Let's see. I'll go with chicken wings.
What
Ooh.
kind?
God, see, I used to go with the buffalo, but now the God, we sound like old people. Let's went before the reflux. I'm gonna go like the indigestion. You get the hot. But you know what? Screw it. I'll embrace my Indian roots. We'll go with the hot wings, the spicy one, the hottest buffalo sauce you can throw up.
Dang, I just thought of.
In my youth.
My third, I'm gonna go with spring rolls, not egg rolls. Spring rolls. The non.
It's not toads. It's tortilla chips with
She's gonna-
Spring
cheese
rolls and
on
egg
it.
rolls are
It's
two
not egg
completely
roll,
different
it's a spring
things.
roll.
She's gonna take garlic cheese knots.
It's a separate order. I had them today because they had Chinese food. It's separate from egg roll. There's no pork. It counts.
I thought the difference between the egg roll and the spring roll was the shell. Like, you can put anything in a spring roll and egg roll. Right?
Spring roll's vegetable.
Not
egg
necessarily.
roll.
You can put-
Egg roll is vegetable too.
you
No,
can
egg
do-
roll's pork.
I thought it was the wrapper
I've never-
that defined the type of roll. You can
Yeah.
get whatever filling.
Every spring roll that I've ever had was always vegetable, and egg rolls.
No,
have
you
pork.
can definitely get like shrimp and stuff in spring rolls for sure.
Oh. I've never encountered that.
No, I think it's the wrapper on the outside. It's different. It's like egg based versus whatever the spring roll is.
Was it more rice based?
I think
Right.
so.
The Chinese food restaurants
Well-
down here have spring rolls represented as vegetable. The ones I had today were not good.
Vish is doing research.
The egg rolls have a thicker, bumpier wrapper made from dough that contains egg, flour, and water. Spring rolls have a thinner, smoother wrapper made from flour and water. Egg rolls typically contain meat and cabbage, while spring rolls are traditionally vegetarian or vegan. However, some spring
Interesting.
rolls can include meat or seafood. So it's
The veggie version.
we have arrived at this weird crossroads where we are all about 50% correct. I don't know what to do. So the filling typically for spring roll is vegetarian or vegan, making Melissa correct. However, the distinctive change is the wrapper, making me correct. Therefore, we are both correct. And Matt owes us an appetizer, is where we've arrived at.
Anyway, Matt, what's your third?
I just thought of samosas. Are those appetizers?
Yeah.
Or is it more like a side?
No, it's an appetizer for sure.
I'm actually
Get it before the main, to be honest.
I'm gonna go with gyoza.
What is that?
I don't know what that is.
Gyoza? It's like
Melissa didn't want to admit she didn't know what it was, and then I said,
I don't know
I'm
what that is either.
like, I will own that. I don't know what the hell Matt just said. They're
It's
like, I
like
don't know
a-
either.
it's like a dumpling, but it's like Japanese.
Oh, I think I've
Yeah.
seen those. Okay.
You've
It's
seen it
spelled
before.
Gyosi. Is that how you spell it? Or
Gyoza.
Z-A?
I love gyoza. It's so good. I'll go with that as my third. Most ramen places, like you get gyoza to start, and then you
Vish, what's
dive
your
into the
fourth
ramen.
and final?
Melissa's gonna get mad at me for having to write this out. But so if you've had Peruvian food, most people go for the chicken and the mains. You get your saltado de pollo or whatever, but you gotta get the appetizer papa la huancaína.
I'm just gonna put Peruvian appetizer.
So it is.
Oh my
It is.
God.
I'll explain what it is. It is.
Peru app. Boom.
It's steamed potatoes, and you slice them so they're like potato.
You know, she
Potato
spelled that
pieces.
like she would try to spell your last
Yeah.
name.
and
No, I
then
think it's Peru app.
and then it's got a sauce on it that's using like it's crema and it's mustard. It is so good. You got to try
That's
this.
good.
And it doesn't have any meat in it, so unless you can eat it.
I
It's
literally
not-
just wrote Peru app.
It's
I was
not
like, I'm not
spicy.
attempting
It's not
to
spicy either.
spell that.
Hold on. Well, while you go next, I will find a picture.
All right, my last appetizer is can I say mozzarella sticks? Even though you said garlic cheese bread, or no? Is that not
Yeah,
allowed?
of course. You
That
can.
is completely different, and your other two choices were much closer to being a repeat than that. Mozzarella is completely different entirely.
Boom.
Oof.
Honorable mention to the OG Pizza Hut breadsticks.
Oh, really? I don't like their breadsticks. I like their cheese sticks.
No, their cheesy bread's good too, but their OG breadsticks, when I was a kid, I loved them, and I would just like lather them in marinara sauce.
Look at that. Oh man, I
Oh,
gotta go pick some up. I mean, there's Peruvians all over this place. I gotta go get some. So
Are those hard-boiled eggs in the middle?
yes, and olives. Although I've seen them with green olives too, but this one's they use black olives, but those are potatoes under the sauce. Just, man.
for my last one, I have two.
All right, we gotta go to a Peruvian place, Melissa, because they also have really good rotisserie chicken, which I know.
Oh, rotisserie chicken's so good.
No, Peruvian, like that's their specialty. So that's the
Yeah,
app,
it's
and
their
then you eat
special.
the chicken. So we gotta go. I'll find
It's
a good
good.
Peruvian spot.
I'm gonna go with. I'm between two right now, but I don't want to bite on
You can
on
you know.
Melissa's style. So
Well,
gonna
you can
go
do
with-
it. You can do an honorable mention too. If you want.
I'm gonna go with onion ring tower.
Ooh, onion rings are good.
Yeah,
Shout out to Burger King.
they have fake onion rings.
You want me to specify tower?
Yeah, tower. It tastes different when it's in a tower formation.
I didn't even think of onion rings. Onion rings are good.
Would we have accepted
No.
fries as an appetizer?
Yeah, I think you have to say like a specialty type of fries.
Like sweet potato fry?
Yeah,
I think it's more
Truffle
maybe.
fries?
or like truffle. Yeah, truffle fries.
I don't think regular fries counts as an appetizer. I think that's more of like a
That's a side.
side dish.
Would regular onion rings then count?
You can get onion rings as an appetizer. They have like
But
the
you can-
blooming onion at Outback.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That's an elevate. Like, but Matt didn't say onion rings. He said tower. Like he
The onion
elevated
rings
Onion ring
tower.
tower.
to appetizer form, just like you're saying. You know,
Yeah,
if it's
yeah.
truffle fries or some kind of specialty fry, it can be an appetizer. Otherwise, it's a side dish. I don't know.
Well,
that
if
onion
it
ring
wasn't
might-
acceptable, I would have gone with blooming onion too. So
yeah, which is definitely an appetizer. No, I think onion ring tower is definitely an appetizer.
onion ring tower.
I think I'm wondering if it was just onion rings. That's more of a side dish, just like just fries is. But
Yeah,
you know,
I
if
was
you
gonna.
elevate
I was gonna go with a not a well-known appetizer, but I'm gonna say one of my faves, mac and cheese balls.
oh, those are good.
The
Yeah,
ones at Cheesecake Factory are really good.
yeah.
I'm also a really big fan of edamame.
Oh,
Kind of just remembered that one.
You could have used that instead of stealing Matt and I's ideas for 2 out of your 4.
The chips and queso are different than nachos. It's just the queso. It's just the dip. The nachos, everything comes on it, and there's multiple things.
So when you order nachos at a game, they hand you not nachos.
No, they hand you chips and fake cheese.
nacho cheese.
It's fake cheese. I like the chips and queso from Chipotle.
Oh man, the queso is the one thing at Chipotle I don't know if I would try. Just because, like, I know it's just like when it's been sitting there for too long, just looking at it, I'm like, oh.
Chipotle would never compromise food standards, though, right?
No, they wouldn't.
Unlike McDonald's that is recalling its quarter pounders.
I mean, that was
Hey.
a joke because Chipotle has famously violated food safety over
Didn't
the
they have
years.
like a Syria outbreak or something?
They've repeatedly, but it wasn't. So one of the reasons,
It's not their
I know.
fault though.
the McDonald's.
It's
stuff
all the
isn't.
people that get bean juice on their bowls. It's all them. It's a contamination from that. It's their
Chipotle
fault.
intentionally violated food safety standards to save money, which is why it got people sick. McDonald's is more their meat sourcer. A little different.
That's why you eat the double quarter pounders.
That's why you get a
Weren't
Whopper.
affected.
You get the
That's what you
double D E. coli.
Just
Or you just go to Chick-fil-A and get a chicken sandwich.
get the Whopper. Get the Whopper.
All right.
There's a-
Shall we move on to Matt's final thoughts?
Oh yeah, I'm supposed to have that.
Is there anything else we want to discuss before we do Matt's final thoughts?
So we can think of something.
Well, actually, because we do final thoughts and then straight into queuing certain outros. Just to recap.
Okay, wait.
You play at Watsco Center Sunday at what? Go ahead.
I have a final thoughts, but it involves all of us, so it's
All right,
not really
well-
a final thoughts. But that's what my
well-
final thoughts is going to be. So we have
well-
to go with it. Go
I
ahead.
was actually doing something, professional-ish here. So the women
Oh,
are
sorry.
out at.
You can go ahead.
The women are out at Watsco on Sunday at 2 p.m. That's free admission. I muted Matt, by the way. The men are.
You're so rude. You know he can unmute you, right?
No, I know that was why it was just a joke. Like, relax, you people are taking this too seriously.
Matt, unmute yourself.
He can unmute himself whenever he wants to, right? Wait,
Yeah,
can he
you
not?
can.
Hold on, I don't. He was fucking with us. It's Matt. It's always sarcasm. But people don't know how sarcastic Matt is. Like, nothing he does.
Matt,
is
you could
serious.
have had a whole weekend of doing this to Vish, but you got fake sick and didn't come to Berkeley.
I'm sorry, I got sick.
You could have been up at
Is everything fake in California too?
Yes.
Fake time zone, fake sick, fake food, fake traffic, fake people, fake anything else.
I mean, LA is kind of known for its fake people, right? But
That is
anyway,
true. Well, I'm not in LA, so
you said California, so I was concluding I believe LA is still part of California. But anyway, and the men. Let's
can you
finish
just hurry
this
up and
thought.
finish, Vish? Final thoughts. Vish, you have to unmute your mic. I don't think he knows how to do it, Melissa.
What?
He doesn't know how to unmute his mic. His mic is muted right now.
He muted himself on purpose because you told
Vish, Vish, your mic is muted. Vish. I don't know if he can hear me. Oh, he left. Oh no, his internet died.
No, his internet didn't die because he's producing the stream. He just put himself backstage.
All right, Melissa, this is just for you then. So one of my players asked me this today. What would your you know how they do the you know, people ask, people on death row get their last meal.
Yeah.
What would your last meal be?
Oh. I mean, Chick-fil-A would definitely be involved with a lot of the best mac and cheese in the world. And then there's this ice cream that me and my mom get when we go to the Hard Rock in Fort Lauderdale. It's like this alcohol-infused ice cream. Their pina colada ice cream is really good. And then there would just be all three of my favorite sodas: Barks, Dr. Pepper, and Crush.
There you go. What about you, Vish?
And Chose.
Oh, you're not muted anymore. He figured it out. All right, go ahead.
And
Vish.
lots of Chose, because if I'm dying, I'll take all the reflux. I don't care.
Your last meal would involve Chick-fil-A? Like that? You like it that much?
I love Chick-fil-A.
Oh man, that's a lot. I'm about to die meal.
Although the Chinese food from San Francisco would also be really good.
By the way, if you've ever seen Melissa eat, her portion size is like a grain of rice. The amount of food she just listed, she could eat for weeks.
I remember she when we had barbecue, she put a drumstick.
I was too nervous to eat.
Like a quarter of it.
I was too nervous to eat that. I was starving after. You missed out after because I ate an entire order of cheesy bread from Pizza Hut after.
Oh yeah, you mean when you ditched me and Vish?
Yeah, when we were in the lobby and you were just
I didn't know you were down there. Someone should have told me.
I mean, we barely knew each other, but anyway, we were hanging out with my college friends. Let's see. Last meal, huh? I don't plan on killing anyone, so it's not something I think about often. Oh God. How am I dying? What are they doing? Is it the chairs? I gotta
Yeah, you get the chair.
get the
Does
chair.
that make a difference?
I guess. I don't know.
Yes, it absolutely makes a difference because now those assholes are gonna fry me. I'm doing some disgusting Indian food, so it comes out after I'm dead. And they're gonna know it. So.
Indian food and Taco Bell. There you go.
Well, not Taco Bell. I love you seeing.
Oh.
Personally, my mom cooks. I'm sure. I gotta think about which of her foods I would eat, but force my mom to cook it.
You want me to go with mine?
Sure. I mean, we both did, so it's your turn. I said Indian
Oh.
food is my answer.
Oh,
That was the real
Indian food
answer.
is your answer?
Yeah,
Okay. All right. I'm gonna start out with some spicy drunken noodles. Love Thai food, so I'm gonna go with that. I need a burger of some sort, and then I'm just going at a whole bag of Reese's pumpkins. Sorry, Reese's pumpkins. And then I'm gonna wash it all down with 2 large Baja Blasts from Taco Bell.
It's good.
That's it. There you go. Go ahead, Melissa.
Cue the socks outro.
Don't cry.
We getting buckets.
Keep it chill.
Yeah, baby.
Wear good socks.
Buckets.